Good morning, class. For quarter 2, week 7, our topic is the biconditional, inverse, converse, and contrapositive statements. Okay, so before we start, let us define first the terms that we're going to use. So a biconditional statement is a combination of a conditional statement and its converse written in if and only if form. Okay. Well, a converse statement is when you switch the hypothesis and conclusion of a conditional statement. So for week 6, we have already tackled about conditional statement. And if you're going to get and if you're going to switch its hypothesis and conclusion, so you're going to form what we call that converse statement. An inverse statement can be formed by negating the hypothesis and conclusion of the conditional statement. Well, a contrapositive statement is when you negate the converse state. So let us have some examples for learning task 3. So for learning task 3, the instruction is write each sentence as conditional statement, converse statement, inverse statement, and contrapositive statement. So say for example, you are given a statement, a polygon with exactly four sides is a quadrilateral. So the conditional statement of that, of course, you're just going to put if and then. So if a polygon has exactly four sides, then it is a quadrilateral. Okay, so our hypothesis there is if a polygon has exactly four sides, and of course, hindi natin kasama yung if. Okay. So, ang ating hypothesis dyan is a polygon has exactly four sides, and ang ating hypothesis is it is a quadrilateral. Anyway, ang titutukoy ng it dyan is the polygon. Okay, next. Our converse statement, let us recall first again what is a converse statement. So, we all know that a converse statement is you're just going to interchange the hypothesis and the conclusion in the conditional statement. So, pagpapalitin lang natin itong dalawa. So, it is a quadrilateral, ito yung ating magiging, okay, hypothesis ngayon, then, it has exactly four sides, ito yung ating magiging conclusion. Still, yung ating polygon, dito natin ilalagay sa unahan, since ito yung pinag-uusapan natin. Okay. So, pag ginamit nyo na dito yung polygon, o pag nilagay nyo na yung polygon dito, so it na lang dito. Pero halimbawa, dito ang nilagay nyo yung if it is equilateral, so dito nyo ilalagay yung polygon. Okay, so ang ating converse is, if a polygon is equilateral, then it has exactly four sides. So, binaliktad nyo lang yung conditional statement. Okay, next, inverse statement. Okay, so sa inverse statement, inenegate nyo lang ang conditional statement. So, lalagyan nyo lang ng no or not. So, depende sa pagkakakonstruct ng statement. Of course, kailangan tama pa rin ang grammar. Okay. So, ang ginawa natin dito, nilagyan lang natin ng not. So, if a polygon does not have, hindi naman pwedeng has not have. So, if a polygon does not have exactly four sides, then it is not a quadrilateral. So, gamamit lang tayo ng not para manegate yung conditional statements. Okay. Then, we have the contrapositive statement. Ang contrapositive statement naman, inenegate nyo lang ang converse statement. Lalagyan nyo lang ng no or not. Okay. So, if a polygon is not a quadrilateral, then it does not have exactly four sides. So, ninegate nyo lang yung converse. Okay, ulitin ko. Ang converse statement, babaliktarin nyo lang yung conditional statement. Okay, yung hypothesis magiging conclusion, yung conclusion magiging hypothesis. Ang inverse naman, ininegate nyo lang yung conditional statement. So, lalagyan nyo lang ng no or, not. Okay. Ang contrapositive naman, ininegate nyo lang yung inverse statement. Converse statement. Okay. Let us have example number 2. A guitar player is a musician. So, lalagyan nyo lang ng if para makuha ang conditional statement. Lalagyan nyo ng if and then. So, if you are a guitar player, then you are a musician. Okay, balik na rin natin para makuha ang converse. So, if you are a musician, so ito na yung ating naging hypothesis. Yung conclusion natin sa conditional, yun yung naging hypothesis natin sa converse. So, if you are a musician, then you are a guitar player. So, yung ating hypothesis na you are a guitar player sa conditional, yun yung naging hypothesis natin sa converse. Okay, next. The inverse, lalagyan lang natin ng not. Ang conditional, if you are not a guitar player, then you are not a musician. Okay, then, contrapositive, lalagyan lang ng not natin yung converse. So, if you are not a musician, then you are not a guitar player. Okay, third example, orange is rich in vitamin C. So, ang conditional natin, if the fruit is an orange, then it is rich in vitamin C. Okay, so nagdagdag tayo ng fruit kasi ang orange naman is a fruit. Okay, parang pangit naman pag if it is an orange, so if the fruit is an orange. Okay, then we have converse. If the fruit is rich in vitamin C, so yung ating conclusion na rich in vitamin C, yun yung ating nagang hypothesis sa converse. If the fruit is rich in vitamin C, then it is an orange. Then we have the inverse. If the fruit is not an orange, then it is not rich in vitamin C. Nilagyan lang natin ng not yung conditional. Then, ang ating contrapositive, lalagyan lang ng not yung converse. If the fruit is not rich in vitamin C, then it is not an orange. Okay, so for learning task 4, given the biconditional statement, write the conditional statement and its converse. Okay. So, pag sinabing biconditional, so yan yung gagamit tayo ng if and only if. Okay. So, yan. Biconditional statement is a combination of a conditional statement and its converse. So, gagamit ng if and only if. Ayan. Okay. So, yun. Okay, so balik tayo dito. First example, ang ating biconditional statement, two angles are complementary if and only if the sum of their measure is 900. Okay. So, tatanggalin nyo lang dyan yung if and only if. Tapos, lalagyan nyo ng if at then. Papalitan nyo lang. Okay, so ito yung tatanggalin nyo lang dyan. So, ito yung ating hypothesis dyan. Then, ito yung conclusion. Okay, yan yung conclusion. So, lalagyan lang natin ng if and then. So, if two angles are complementary, so yun yung ating hypothesis, ating conclusion, then the sum of their measure is 900. Okay, then the converse, babalik rin lang yung hypothesis and conclusion. If the sum of the measures of two angles is 900, then they are complementary. So for the second example, a polygon has exactly 4 sides if and only if it is a quadrilateral. So tatanggalin nyo lang yung if and only if. And tapos ito yung ating hypothesis, a polygon has exactly 4 sides. Ang ating conclusion, it is a quadrilateral. So ang ating conditional, if a polygon has exactly 4 sides, then it is a quadrilateral. Then converse, baliktarin lang natin ang hypothesis and conclusion sa conditional. If a polygon is a quadrilateral, then it has exactly 4 sides. For the third example, ang ating biconditional, two line segments are equal in length if, typographical error lang yan, if and only if they are congruent. So, tatanggalin nyo lang yung if and only if. So, ang ating hypothesis, two line segments are equal. Ang ating conclusion, then they are congruent. So, ang ating conditional, if two line segments are equal in length, then they are congruent. So, ang ating converse, baliktarin lang, if two line segments are congruent, then they have equal lengths. Okay, so that's all for week 7.